For Italians, the most important thing in life is food. Oh, I wish you could smell this. And I believe that is the best way to discover Italy.
It's wonderful.
So it's been such a joy returning to my homeland to taste, explore, and sightsee my way around two of the country's biggest islands, Sardinia and Sicily. These sun-soaked islands, rich in natural wonders and flavors, a melting pot of ancient ingredients and jaw-dropping discoveries.
I really can see that, people.
And now, here in Sicily, my senses have continued to be surprised, experiencing the unique tastes,
I love it.
traditional methods,
I can eat this bowl in one session.
and culinary innovation
Please don't touch this recipe because it's perfect.
that have put this island on any food lover's map. 5 weeks across 2 islands have finally led me to the east coast of Sicily, home of the Godfather and Mount Etna, the setting of my Italian escape. Today I'm beginning at sea level and then traveling up high into the mountains. So I start my final leg here in the coastal town of Giardini, Naxos. This is where the Greeks first set up camp when they arrived in Sicily back in the 8th century BC. They recognized the beauty of the bay, which stands in the shadow of Mount Etna. And even now, over 10,000 years on, it is one of the most popular seaside resorts in Italy. Local tour operator Alessandro thinks the reason this part of the island is a piece of paradise is all due to that ever-present volcano.
Alex, the fact that the sand is not yellow and golden like everywhere in Italy, is this got something to do with Mount Etna?
Yeah, Etna sometimes erupt and they leave a lot of tiny stones around the beach.
And that's why it's brown?
Yeah.
Now that I'm on this side of the island, where do you recommend I should visit? What should I see?
Isola Bella is a marine reserve, and the water is so clear that you can count the stones on the bottom.
Nice. Isola Bella.
Exactly, Isola Bella
Okay.
Marine Reserve, yeah.
How am I supposed to get to Isola Bella? With a car?
By car, look where we are. We have my jet ski ready for you.
I can use your jet ski?
Sure.
No way, really?
Come on.
You would allow me to do so?
Sure.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
This tiny island of Isola Bella is a 30 minutes fun-filled jet ski ride out of Giardini Naxos Bay.
Wow, this is super cool.
And for me, this is a real treat. It's not that often I get to feel the wind in my gelled hair.
Yes! It's just wow. I love my job.
Okay, time to get back to the day job and start the climb to Etna via the mountainside town of Taormina. This petite town packs a punch with views over the Naxos Bay and Mount Etna, so it's jammed all year round. Its heyday was back in the 18th century, when the rich and arty crowd passed through on their grand tours of Europe. D.H. Lawrence loved it so much, he lived here for 3 years. And it's also home to the king of Italian pastries, the cannoli. Cannoli are synonymous with Sicily, probably its most famous sweet. Made from a pastry shell, then stuffed with a sweet, creamy filling of ricotta. Every family on the island has their own recipe for it. But as I'm in Taormina, I have to visit Roberto, the cannoli magician.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, come va?
Whose sweet treats have been charming residents, presidents, and even Her Majesty the Queen. And he started by telling me how this popular pastry came to be.
Il lavoro è la storia del cannolo. Gli arabi portarono tanti tipi di dolci, tra cui questo cannolo.
Roberto explains that it all began with the Arabs.
Lo strutto
who made the shell from plain flour and the filling from an acidic wine and sweet ricotta. Pretty much what they use now, but with sugar and sweet spices like cinnamon.
Deriva dalle canne.
Roberto then went on to explain that the name came from the way they used a bamboo cane to shape the pastry when they fried it.
I'm curious to find out the proper way to make cannolo. Roberto, fammi vedere proprio tecnicamente come si fa un cannolo, dai.
Perfetto. Prendiamo la cialda, mettiamo la ricotta, facciamo piano piano, eh?
Okay. After a quick lesson in stuffing the pastry shell, I'm confident that I can master this. I mean, how hard can it be?
I'm going to make one.
Sì.
Ok, so, la prendo da qua.
Ok. Un po' di ricotta.
Un po' di ricotta.
No.
Oh, the other way.
Ok, non
Ok. Devo spingere?
Sì, spingi.
He's telling me to push.
Ancora. Ok.
Che pensi?
Mandorline.
What do you think?
Un po' insieme a me passa.
Yeah?
No.
He says if you spend a couple of years with me, you will make a cannoli maker. Aspetta, la mandorlina.
Dip it in some crushed almonds.
And he said, don't forget the orange skin.
Perfetto.
Ice and sugar.
E te lo puoi mangiare.
My first cannolo.
Ok, bravo. Dammi il 5. Ok, bravo, bravo.
Grazie ragazzi.
Prego.
Grazie, grazie, grazie. See, now I am the master of the cannoli. And actually this reminds me of a scene in The Godfather when the guy goes, leave the gun, and takes the cannoli. I now know what he meant.
Cannoli safely taken, it's finally time to pay a visit to the first lady of these islands. Mount Etna is Europe's highest volcano at 3,350 meters. And is one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupting over 200 times in its 500,000-year history. I feel a bit strange because I've heard of this beautiful volcano since I was a little boy. I remember when I was studying at school and you know, we were learning that this volcano was off every now and then, and I just couldn't believe it. So it's quite exciting, the feeling that it could happen. I know that it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be that lucky, but I'm excited at the idea that it could happen. It seems to me that this volcano is at the heart of Sicily and its food. And I'm hoping that guide Giambattista will explain why. Tell me, how important is the Mount Etna to Sicily?
It's an amazing place, this one, because in winter time we have the snow. But in the spring season we have the snow and then the melt and the water. And then born many rivers around the volcano, so it's really rich area for the agriculture. We have many different fruit, depend where you're going. You're going around at the volcano and different on the south face of the volcano Etna, you find, I don't know, the apple. On the north, you have the nuts, so it's really rich resource.
See, in my job as a cook, maybe one day I can cut myself. There are things that they are dangerous, but I can see, you know, in your job, it can be really, really dangerous around here.
In 2002 and 2003, the volcanic ash climbing for 800 meters from the mouth, and we stay really near, like 400 meters from the explosion.
But you also must be a little bit crazy to have a job like this. I wouldn't be here.
No.
I would, you know, what do you do? Oh, I'm working on the volcano that is alive.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's strange, but it's nice.
I wasn't allowed to leave without trying one last strange tradition.
Before you go, you test this one. This is Fire of Etna.
It's a fire of Etna.
Yes.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is Etna fire water, which means it's 70% volume alcohol. And if you are wondering what it tastes like,
Oh, go.
absolutely disgusting. But even that doesn't take away from what an incredible experience it's been to actually stand on Mount Etna. So how can it get better? Well, I'm about to fulfill a lifelong ambition. Yesterday I was in Etna, and today I'm winding my way through the Sicilian mountain to see a place that I've always wanted to visit since I was 12 years old. The tiny village of Savoca is nestled in the mountains between Taormina and Messina. It's famous for being the location for Corleone in the Godfather movies. Do you recognize this church? It's where Michael Corleone and Apollonia get married in the film. See, to me the movie The Godfather is the way I live my life. It's very important when I give my word that I always keep it, and I always teach my boys to do the same, the respect for the family and to protect the family. So I'm so excited to be here, so excited. And now I'm finally following in Al Pacino's footsteps to Bar Vitelli. In the film, it was Apollonia's father's bar. It's still owned by the same family who ran it while director Francis Ford Coppola was shooting The Godfather. Dario was available for a sit-down at the very table Al Pacino sat at all those years ago. Now, tell me something, how did you manage the Bar Vitelli to get into the Godfather movie?
So, the Francis Ford Coppola staff arrives in Sicily to shoot some scenes in Corleone. Then the mafia asks him some money to shoot these scenes.
So are you telling me that originally they went to Corleone?
Yeah.
And then, you know, the mafia asked them for the money, and then they changed the location and they came here.
Was the perfect scenography, like the bar, the fields.
This bar belonged to your aunt?
Yeah. She was a very strong woman. When they told her to marry someone, she preferred to open the bar. In Sicily, in the 60s, especially in a little town, was like a revolution.
She chose a bar instead of a man.
Yeah.
Very wise choice.
Yeah, very good choice.
Very wise choice. Now, tell me, did she get any money for the movie?
No.
So her aim, it wasn't for her to become rich?
Yeah.
From the Americans?
You do everything for generosity, like, you know.
For Sicily?
Yeah.
I guess.
The spirit of Sicily. This is the spirit of Sicily, yeah.
I've heard that Francis Ford Coppola, when during filming, he used to have about 14 granitas every day. Is that true?
Yeah. First of all, when they arrived here, it was summer. So there were like 40 degrees. I think there was no fridge to have fresh drinks. So the only thing that there was the granita.
It was the only option.
Yeah, but he loved it. And then he took like 14 granitas
every day.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How can you have 14 granitas a day?
I don't know, but I think you stay fresh, so you should have to try one of it.
I will love to try one.
Okay.
If this flavored ice dessert is good enough for an Oscar winner, then it's good enough for me.
Now, your mother, Nuccia, she was a young girl as they were making the movie. Have you got any story for me?
She remembered that Al Pacino was a very quiet person.
I wanted to thank you because this for me is a wonderful experience. And the way I wanted to thank you is I wanted to invite you to have dinner with me. Can I cook on your terrace here?
Yeah, it would be a pleasure.
Can I be the first one to do it?
Yes, of course. You're at home.
You are the man. Thank you very much, buddy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Only two people have been allowed to film here. Al Pacino and Gino da Campo. And how did I manage that? Simple. I've just made them an offer that they couldn't refuse. Now, enough of that. What I'm going to prepare is veal meatball with a beautiful fragrant rice. And we start right here. I got some beautiful minced veal. So in there, the first thing I'm going to add is lemon zest. And the zest of one lemon will do the job.
Then add chopped flat leaf parsley, pine kernels, and Parmesan cheese. Next, lightly whip one large egg, which will help bind the mixture, and pour half in. And of course, season with salt and pepper.
And my last ingredients is fresh breadcrumb, slightly soaked into milk. And just before you put into the meat, just slightly squeeze any excess milk away from the breadcrumb, like that. I would probably put 2 handfuls. And there is a very good reason why we pour breadcrumb and milk into the meatball. Is to make sure that the meatball are nice and light. Okay? Now the only thing that you have to do, just mix everything together. And the trick is very simple. One hand says always clean, the other one, you do the mixing.
I am a big believer in using your hands. It's your light touch that brings together the ingredients without crushing the meat.
And of course, if you don't want to use minced veal, don't worry about it. You can always use minced chicken or minced beef. Okay, I'm happy with the mixture. Now the only things that I have to do, roll them into little balls. And remember, whenever you roll them into balls, make sure that you don't press it too hard, otherwise they're not going to be nice and soft. And this is also a fantastic recipe to do with your children. I mean, prepare the mixture and they just can roll the balls. Keep it in the family.
Once your balls have been rolled, heat the oil in a pan, and when it's hot, place them in carefully, making sure they keep their shape.
Look at that sizzle.
It will take around 5 minutes to crisp them up.
The secret of meatball is to make sure that you coat them nice and crispy all around, but in the middle, still nice and tender, because now we're going to finish them off to cook with white wine and other magical ingredients. So get a good quality white wine and pour straight into the meatballs.
I'm using 180 milliliters or a medium glass of wine.
Add a couple of bay leaves into the sauce, and straight away, tomato puree.
About 2 tablespoons worth will do the job.
A little bit of beef stock.
About 500 milliliters worth.
And season with salt and pepper. Now the final thing that you have to do, make sure you mix everything together and scrape the beautiful little bitten pieces on the bottom of the frying pan when you were frying the meatballs. Looking good, looking good. And now the only thing that you got to do, cover it with the lid and be patient for 20 minutes on a very low heat.
And your patience will be rewarded.
20 minutes have gone by, and I wish you could smell what I'm smelling right now. The wine, the stock, the bay leaves, incredible. Okay, switch it off, and I'm gonna show you how to plate this. So, serving plate, and what I got here is rice. Now, what I've done to the rice is very simple. Long grain rice, I boiled it, drained it, put it back into the bowl. Then I had some dried cranberry, and I soaked the dried cranberry into white wine. You only have to do that for about 5 minutes until they start to plump up. Then lemon zest again, a little bit of salt and pepper. Only thing I'm gonna have to add, finely chopped flat leaf parsley. So that goes in there. Just mix everything together one more time. There. Put in the middle of the serving plate. Add the meatballs on top. I probably want to give about 5 per portion. Okay. And the final touch, the gravy that you prepared, straight on top. Polpette di vitello cooked right here at Bar Vitelli. Dario, I just want to say thank you for this amazing experience, my friend. But now I want you to be honest, and I want you to tell me what you think about the food. I got a little bit of the Moroccan influence.
Amazing. It's really, really fantastic.
It's good, isn't it? Dario, I would like to say salute to you, to your family, and to all Sicily.
Salute.
To be able to fulfill a lifelong ambition and visit this place is the most fitting end to my food odyssey. If I have to choose between the two islands, well, I can't really make my mind up. They've been both beautiful, but yet very, very different. And as the last 6 weeks have been a feast for my senses, I have enjoyed incredible ingredients and witnessed spectacular sights. From the majestic mountains,
It's just melting in the mouth.
picturesque valleys, and the Sea of Sardinia, to the bustling cities, sprawling vineyards, and the mighty Mount Etna in Sicily. It's been a real privilege. I will take away much more than just mouth-watering memories. Wow! I will always remember the passion, the produce, and the people.
This journey has been incredible. So thank you guys for watching my Italian escape.
You can find all Ginos' delicious recipes and more in his accompanying book, Ginos' Islands in the Sun, out now from all good retailers.